How you guys doing? Reggie here, aka FitNoop1911, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another video. It seems like a long time since I've done a video. The reason for that, I think it's only been maybe 5 days or so. The reason for that is because I've been on the road working, and I've also been a little under the weather, which you may be able to tell from my voice. But I am happy to be here, happy to be recording another video. Tonight's video is just going to be a recap of some things that I picked up over the course of this week, which isn't many because I didn't have many things arrive in the mail today, and there were only a couple of things on my pull list when I was able to make it to the comic book store today. But fingers crossed, there is something that is in the mail that if it comes tomorrow, we will record another video, and it'll be a big one, I do believe. So let's go ahead and jump into the books. I picked up Domino #1. This is probably a book that many of you have on your pull list. I honestly didn't know much about Domino, despite the fact that I read, X-Force back in the day, including X-Force #11, where she has a real appearance. Didn't know much about her, but I read this book tonight. Wasn't blown away by the story or by the artwork. It was one of those books where they spent a lot of time kind of giving background on the character. There was a lot of inner dialogue where she was kind of talking about her powers, talking about who she was as a person, et cetera, et cetera. So it'll be interesting to see where they take this series over the next couple of issues. But #1 wasn't bad. I actually picked up the J. Scott Campbell variants that he's selling exclusively on his website. I think there were like 3 of them that I picked up from him, all of which will be signed. My guess is that they'll arrive at some point over the next couple of weeks. In all, I think there's like 9 total variants that they did of Domino #1, not including the ones from J. Scott Campbell. I think I picked up either 3 or 4. I can't remember how many he was offering at the time. But I'm sure you guys have this on your pull list. I'd be curious what your thoughts are if you've had a chance to read it so far. But speaking of Domino, I've been going back picking up where I can find them some of the Weapon X series. I picked up #1 a couple of weeks ago. Today I picked up #3, and you can see Domino right there on the front cover. This is actually a pretty cool cover. I like the artwork of this one, right? That's a pretty cool one. And then I picked up, I didn't know it was the second printing of #7, but it's the second printing of #7. We'll probably, again, go back and get the real first printing if I can find it. I didn't see the fine print down there in the corner, but whatever. So I had those 2. I also picked up a couple of Thanos books. So I picked up #15 with the Cosmic Ghost Rider on the cover there. I think this is like the second or third print of this one. So I went ahead and picked this up. I thought it was a pretty cool cover. And I already have the regular version, so the second or third printing, whatever that was, is just an additional one. But I also picked up #17 variant cover with Cosmic Ghost Rider on the cover. Some pretty interesting artwork there for that one. And I had a chance to read 17 and also 18 this evening. And this is the one where the young and the old Thanos kind of square off. This is a pretty good issue. And I think this is actually the last in the series. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was an 18-part series, and this is essentially the end of it now. I think I have all but maybe 4 issues in the series, so I'm hoping to pick up those issues that I'm missing. I saw one of them tonight on the shelf, but there were 4 copies of them. All 4 were banged up, so I went ahead and took a pass on those. But I'll try to collect those 4 missing issues at some point to be able to have a complete run of this series, which I've been really impressed by. Even before I knew the Cosmic Ghost Rider stuff was going to happen, I just enjoy the writing. I enjoy the artwork. I've always enjoyed Thanos as a character, and so it was just cool to see him in his own series, and I again enjoyed reading it. So I picked up Despicable Deadpool #298. I have never really read a Deadpool book And so I picked this up because I believe that it's all leading to number 300, where Deadpool is, I believe, supposed to die. So I've kind of added that to my pull list because I want to collect those last couple in this series. So I'm going to try to read this one tonight. Maybe tomorrow. You see the flap's still open because I have not read it yet. Speaking of books that I have not read, I picked up Venomized number 2. So I picked up number 1, was it 2 weeks ago or something like that, and now number 2. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Another book that I've really enjoyed reading, a series I should say, is X-Men Red, and this is number 3, featuring Gambit there on the front cover. This was a pretty good read. I enjoyed reading this one tonight. I've always enjoyed Gambit as a character, and so when I saw him on the cover of this one, I thought it was a very striking cover. I think number 2 was Nightcrawler, number 3 Gambit. So this is a series that I've really enjoyed reading. The next couple of books are all books that I'm pretty sure all of you have. I'm sure that you've probably had them on your own pull list and probably in your own videos. Amazing Spider-Man 798. I think that I overpurchased this book. I think I have like 8 copies of just the regular variant. I actually saw a guy and spoke to a guy on Instagram a couple of days ago. He had, I think it was Dan Slott. He had a signed copy of this book by Dan Slott, and I actually reached out to him and purchased one from him. Wasn't even for sale, but it was nice enough to sell me one of his 3 copies that he's been collecting. He's getting them signed at his local comic book shop, I think in New York. So we had a very good exchange. Sent him some cash, and I'm waiting for the book to come. So looking forward to having that, because this 798 seems to be a plentiful. I've been in 3 shops over the last maybe 4 days, and each shop has a stack of 798 on the shelf, and it just tells me that there was a ton of production on this book, a lot of supply out there. The supply is definitely exceeding the demand for this book. So my thought was the signature from Dan Slott might be a good way to kind of set my book apart from all the other books that are out there. Not that I'm trying to sell it, but it's just that, if you've got multiple copies, you need something to differentiate them besides just the high quality, I guess. So another 798 variant. I think I have 2 copies of this Venom 30th anniversary variant cover. I have 2 additional copies of 798. I don't even know which variant this is, but I have 2 copies of that. I think I already have maybe 2 in a box somewhere. And then I picked up the Young Guns variant, and I actually have 3 of those in addition to I think 2 other copies I have in another box. So again, definitely I think I over-ordered 798 Amazing Spider-Man, but nevertheless, here we are with like 20 copies. I don't know, some crazy number. Anyway, it was a relatively, again, slow week for me. Did not pick up very many books. Not much arrived in the mail. Hopeful that something will arrive tomorrow, and if it does, we'll record another video. It's I actually upgraded a book, and I upgraded a book without selling the lesser version of the book, because I intend to keep that one as well. But it was a very nice addition that I hope to be able to share with you guys tomorrow. Thank you for bearing with me in this horrible voice of mine. Hopefully we'll be a little bit better tomorrow when I get to record the other video. But thanks for watching this video. Take care.